It is Medical Mysteries and Miracles Week with our senior health correspondent, Monica Robbins, who brings us a story that is both. A young woman thinks she's descending into a serious mental illness. Doctors even begin intensive psychiatric treatment. But as Monica shows us, what this woman really needed was life-saving intervention for a condition rarely seen.
Lauren Wells started the pandemic in one of the most vulnerable places in Ohio, a nursing home outside Toledo. All was going well, a promotion, a move, until the end of May, when it wasn't.
So my skin just felt very wrong, and I describe it as like a film being on it, or it felt sticky. I was also hearing music that really wasn't there, and I heard seagulls, and there were no seagulls.
No source for the mysterious sounds that were taking over her life.
You know, they're hallucinations, auditory and tactile. It was all I could think about.
Then came physical symptoms, nausea, pain on her left side, a trip to the ER, dozens of tests, no answers.
At this point, everyone thought it was psych-related, it was mental illness.
She tried returning to work, but coworkers became alarmed and called 911 when she seemed catatonic. Lauren checked herself into the psych ward.
A couple days of me acting, you know, pretty manic. I had my first seizure.
Her father raced from Pennsylvania to be by his daughter's side. It's then that a family friend, a psychiatrist, reached out with a wild suggestion.
He, told my dad, he said, it's a really rare bird, but have them look into NMDA encephalitis.
NMDA, antibody encephalitis, a rare autoimmune disease that can cause confusion, memory loss, and seizures. All symptoms Lauren had.
And in very rare cases, those antibodies attack your brain.
At this point, the Cleveland Clinic took over Lauren's case. Once transferred, their first objective, figure out why these antibodies were running rampant. Within 2 days, they had an answer.
She harbored a tumor at the time that nobody knew about.
Those hallucinations, strange pains and behavior, and mysterious autoimmune response all traced to a tumor on her ovary.
It was 13 centimeters. It was a big tumor.
Lauren's tumor, known as a teratoma, is usually benign. Hers, malignant. And because of all she'd gone through and the infection, a more complicated case.
We had different neurologists, we had rheumatologists, we had oncologists, we had gynecologists and surgeons, nurses, therapists. I mean, the list goes on and on and on of everybody who actually participated in her care, and everybody contributed and made it possible for her to have had the good outcome.
It sounds so silly when I talk about everything that happened, and saying losing my hair was really hard, but no one looked at me and was like, Lauren, you have cancer. I was weeks into treatment when I was like, oh, I had cancer.
On top of everything
else.
Lauren endured 2 months in the hospital, chemotherapy and rehabilitation. She also needed surgery to repair her vocal cords damaged during intubation. All, of course, during the pandemic.
Without the advocacy of my father and my family, and without knowing a psychiatrist who knew what this diagnosis was, I don't know where I'd be. Gosh, I don't know. I mean, advocate for yourself, advocate for your loved ones.
Invaluable advice from a survivor who has much to look forward to, thanks to those who looked out for her. Monica Robbins, 3 News.
And Lauren continues follow-up medical treatments in Cleveland. She's back at work and starting graduate school. We wish her the best.